But you see, even when you look back in your group, because obviously some of the people who have come in the group are people who have probably made an impact with you, some you're probably going to work with and all sorts.
Yeah.
When you started the group, you didn't know that. Yeah. You didn't know who was going to come in your group and what impact they're going to make. And that's the same now going forward. Again, in a year's time, how big is your group going to be and who is going to come in there to actually make that impact? And that in itself, just knowing that in itself is so exciting to say the possibilities are endless. When I started my podcast, about a year or so ago, I didn't know who I was going to interview there, but there have been some amazing people, the likes of Dr. John DiMartini, Gerard Ratner. I've had the privilege of speaking to these people on my podcast, the likes of Rob Moore. Amazing brains. And now, when I look forward, who is it that I'm going to speak to? I've got big ambitions myself. I think, so-and-so is going to come on my podcast and so on. And that's just an amazing feeling when you put yourself in there. You look forward to the amazing possibilities of the things that you can achieve. And that can be quite inspiring in itself. So, yeah, absolutely amazing to see where you're going and your journey and all that. So
thank you. And it's I didn't realize actually you've been watching me for like the 2 years I've been on my journey, so that's quite interesting, because I don't always notice how different I am, but other people tell me, because even though I post like all the time, then when I talk to people and I'm like, oh, you actually already know half the stuff I'm telling you because you've been watching me talk about it for the last years. So it feels weird. It's also kind of cool, and I think it really helps tell your truth when you've been in the public eye on social media to only a small group of people, but they can see that what you're talking about is the same thing. Like, it's not, if you're trying to be somebody that you're not, it's not going to work. You just have to tell your truth, and that's it.
Yeah, because the power is in your authentic you, isn't it? And your story. And that's what people will gravitate towards, not be somebody else and all of that. I remember I had Elliot Kay. He talks about being more giraffe. Like, giraffe is all different. And that's what you have to be, like yourself, and your power is in your story. Looking at your story and your journey, from the condition like the dyslexia and ADD, but still, your artistic nature and all of that. There's a lot of power in your story. Even looking at that background and the art there, so much, such a rich story in itself. So you need to capitalize and work on that so that you can bring it out more to people, because there will be hundreds and thousands and millions of people who will relate to that, and it will inspire them to say, actually, ADD or dyslexic people can achieve amazing things. Look at Shona, and that's the amazing power in your story, and everyone's story, is unique. You just need to craft it and put it and understand it in a way that brings out the authentic you, and then it gets to inspire other people as well. So it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you this evening. It's been awesome. So I'm sure as we go along, we'll be touching base as well, just getting updates of how you're going. And probably some people listen to this podcast and just say, wow, actually Shona I know what she's looking for. Maybe I can work with her on ABCD. Maybe they already have a site or they have something. So, putting yourself out there as well, the power of social media and people is just amazing, So, yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. So, wanted to finish by just tapping into you as a person. We play this the this or that game. Do you know the this or that game?
Oh, I'm excited. I like games.
Oh, cool. All right. So I will say 2 things you have to pick as quickly as possible without too much thinking about it. Which one is you? Yeah. So if I say cat or dog.
Okay, a cat.
Cat.
I don't know why I said cat.
Exactly. So
I don't have a dog, that's why.
Yes. So yeah, something like that. You probably directly think, oh, why did I say that? So that will probably be you. So okay, so if we say tea or coffee.
Tea.
So you're a tea person. Okay.
I hate coffee. It stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not grown enough yet to have coffee.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Cool. Beach or mountain?
Mountain. I don't like sand in my toes, and my family live in Cornwall. But sorry, do you want me to explain my answer, or do you want me just to give the answer?
No, you can explain. Absolutely.
And so every summer we used to go to Newquay in Cornwall, and one summer my aunt told me she saw a jellyfish in the sea, and I was petrified. And so I'm really scared of going in the sea unless I'm like in a suit, like all booted, because I get scared. That sounds so silly, but it's true.
Brilliant. That's a great story. Okay. So a text or a call?
A text.
Text, yeah.
Unless it's a video call, I like to be able to see I have a thing where I read a lot of people's body language and their facial expressions. So I don't like phone calls because I can't see the person I'm talking to. So during lockdown, when video calls became really big, I actually really liked that because it meant that I spoke to more people.
Okay, cool. Drama or comedy?
Drama.
Drama, yeah? You are like a period drama.
I do watch a lot of period dramas, and my girlfriend watches lots of comedy, but I don't find them funny. I find it, I don't know, I have a weird sense of humor. If somebody tells me something's going to be funny, I automatically am like, I bet I won't find it funny.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. True story or reality TV?
True story. I hate reality TV. Because there's too many programs where people are like, it's all about the makeup and how you look and how many times you've been to the gym, and everything is about sex appeal. And I think it's really detrimental to young people that they don't have an understanding of actually that's not real life, and it's becoming more and more of people's real life, and I don't think that's good for their well-being at all. Yeah.
Programs like Love Island and all those kind of programs.
Yeah. My daughter's 14, and I don't let her watch that, but all her friends talk about it and she wants to watch it. And I'm like, no, like you do not need to be thinking that that's who you need to be, because you don't. Things should not be about the way that you look. So when I was growing up, sorry, I'm talking too much, aren't I?
No, absolutely. I'm loving it.
Okay. When I was growing up, like I'm a tomboy, right? So I always used to I still do, I wear men's clothes.
Yeah.
And now that's just normal for me. I just walk into the men's section, I pick whatever I want to wear. Yeah. And people don't even notice that I'm wearing men's clothes. They just think that's what Shona wears, you know? But when I was a kid, I found it really hard to, if somebody, say there was a party, and all the other girls would be wearing dresses or really tight clothing that showed off their body, and I didn't want to do that. And so I had the choice, do I wear what I want to wear and look different to everybody else? Yeah. Or do I wear what they wear and feel really uncomfortable? Yeah. And in reality, what used to happen is I used to have a lot of breakdowns and end up, I would just break down crying and not be able to go out because I didn't feel comfortable enough to be myself because everybody else thought it was so important to be the same. And it's only now as an adult that I can be really confident and being like, well, this is what I'm going to wear. Yeah. And I'm going to look good in what I want to wear. and you can wear whatever you want, because actually if you all look the same, I'm probably actually judging you rather than me being worried about you judging me, because I don't see why you need to follow the crowd instead of wearing what you want to wear. But it took years and years to get to that place.
You see, imagine if you had grasped that mindset at that early age, what difference it would have made. But it's just that argument about nurture versus nurture, isn't it? Like how your environment gets to shape you in some way or another, because you can't reconcile. You want to be your authentic self, but then how do you ignore and write off all the messages about they're gonna either bully you or say this and that and all of that? If you can clear your mind to understand that that doesn't matter, it's probably a reflection of them, and see it for what it is. But at that early age, it's very difficult to see that. But these are
sorry, go on.
and these are the things that you can start teaching the kids now, like the ones that you impact as well, that they just need to be authentic self. So go on.
I was gonna say, like, sometimes now I do wear girls' clothes and I will wear makeup sometimes, and I can look good, like, and then people say to me, oh wow, Shona, you look really nice. But also what they don't realize is when people give you a compliment like that, they're actually making you realize that you don't look nice the rest of the time. And they're not doing it on purpose. A lot of people, they think they're being really nice, but they don't understand the backlash that has on people's feelings. Like, it happens all the time. I hear people go, oh, you look like you've lost weight. It's like, well, why did you have to say that? Because what you've actually done is triggered in their head, oh, I normally look fat. Like, I much prefer that people compliment people based on their actions rather than the way that they look bad. Yeah,
absolutely. But then at the level that you're at, you can appreciate the gap in the knowledge and understanding and mindset of them versus where you are, because just like you say, you can understand at some level why they are saying and thinking that, because they are missing that understanding that actually it's probably not the right thing to say or whatever. So for you just appreciate it for what it is. You don't, maybe not take it, whichever way, because you understand that they are trying to be nice, but in a way they don't understand that it's not the right thing to do. Saying it to you because you're so advanced in mindset, you understand. But if it was someone else who don't and is not at the same level of understanding like you, it could offend them or even have a negative impact on how they feel about themselves and all that kind of thing. So being sensitive about what we say, how we see people and all that, from a human behavior point of view, it's fascinating to study as well, how and why people do and say certain things. But we are constantly evolving and understanding people and behavior. So interesting. So just a few more. Dinner or breakfast?
Oh, I don't know. Lunch. No, actually snacks. I know that's one of the things. But I will always look. I was eating these, when you went offline, I was like, and I was like, that's going to be on the recording, right? I struggle to eat because I'm supposed to eat. I love to snack all the time. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So snack. So adventure or a night in?
Adventure. I feel like I haven't adventured enough, but in the last few years, I really enjoy experiences. So there's this thing I like to go to. It's called Secret Cinema, and it's where they take a film and you purchase your ticket and you're going to watch the film, but they email you a character and they give you a name and they tell you what to wear and they tell you where you could buy the clothes if you wanted to, or you can get your own, and you turn up to this event as the character. actors there that they act out different scenes, and you become part of the theatre experience, and then you can eat there, you drink there, and then you watch the film at the end. Like, so I love that. But Go Ape as well is another thing where you like climb the trees and then you go across bridges and zip wires. Like, yeah. So I love to do things and experience things.
Brilliant. Okay, so last but not least, you have to think about this one quite carefully. Yeah. Okay. Hope or freedom? That's a big one, yeah.
I think I'm probably privileged to a point where I feel like I've got more freedom than some people.
Yeah.
And that allows me to have hope for the goals that I want, whereas some people's goals may be just be as free as I am now.
Yeah.
And that's made me think a lot about other people, actually, and about caring about other people's situations.
Yeah.
Like
it can be a delicate balance, isn't it? Because when you have that hope, then you have something to look forward to, which will carry you forward. But also you need the freedom to be able to do the things that you like. But you can be free, but no hope of achieving certain things. So maybe can one exist without the other? That's an interesting one.
There's I'm gay, so I came out as gay when I was 16, and I live in a country where I can say that, and even though some people will not approve, the society we live in general respects that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But for example, my neighbours that just moved in are also lesbians, and they're telling me like they can't go home to their country because they will be murdered. I can't even anticipate like how that must feel to not think that you can go visit your family because you're not safe to do that. So that I feel very privileged to not have to worry about that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's interesting. I remember like when I had this discussion with Dr. John DiMartini about all these kind of things. I think specifically we talked about how the people who have the most power are the ones who drive the agenda and everyone else follows, and how over time things actually evolve depending on it's like a power struggle, because the same things, if you look now in one part of the world, like in the kingdoms of Swaziland or somewhere in Africa, for people to, the men, they can marry more than one wife, like have like 5, 6 or more, and that's like tradition, and that is fine, and that's how they define their power to get people to actually follow, and that's a tradition. But if you move the other side of the world, like here, just to have a second wife, you can go to prison and all of that. But it wasn't always like that, and how things are evolving and things. So the more of the stories, if you want any particular area, because you have the 7 areas of life, like your social, spiritual, financial, and all the other ones. If you don't empower yourself in any particular area, somebody is gonna come and overpower you. So that's quite a key important message for people to realize. So any area of your life that you want to have power on, make sure you empower yourself so that you don't get overpowered by somebody else. So social, spiritual, financial, and all those kind of areas, because it's all power driven in a way. So it's quite important, like you say, in any particular area, just make sure you take charge of your life, as much as the environment will allow you, take the freedoms that are there and use them to your advantage to help you advance your agenda, and how you can also use that to help people as well. So quite very important message. So yeah, Shona, absolute pleasure speaking to you tonight. So if people are looking to find you, speak to you, or how can they track you down?
The best way is to really, look me up on Facebook. It's Shona Phimister. I had to change the name because I work in a school, and at the time I didn't want my kids Googling me and finding me. But now I'm all over social media, so they will. And join my group Heading for Property Success, and then come to one of my free Sunday networking events, and I'll be there hosting. And I will say to you, how are you? What have you been up to? And you can be part of my chat, my tribe. That is the best way to chat to me. Yeah.
To find you. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much, Shona. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. It's been going for over an hour and a half. Just such a pleasure, and how easy it is to speak to you. It's amazing.
You normally interview for that long?
No, it's usually like 45 minutes.
Oh, wow. I talk a lot. All right.
Which is a good thing, So we'll see, maybe cut this into 2 episodes or just carry it as one. We'll just see how it goes. But yeah, lots of golden nuggets, speaking to you. Such an inspiring story. And a lot of people are gonna just, be inspired by your story. And like I say, at various points over the coming months, year, or whatever, we'll come back and we'll reflect on the journey, where you are and where you're heading, or the successes, challenges, and everything in between. So it will be an absolute pleasure catching up with.
And Alex, you have to let me, in the next couple of weeks, interview you about your story, because I want to know.
Absolutely, yes, that's what I thought as well. That I think it's worked well here. Just capture your side, and then we can come back and talk about myself as well, and how we can share that as well with the rest of the tribe out there.
Yeah, nice.
But Shona, absolute pleasure. So thank you, and enjoy the rest of your evening. And
I'm off to bed.
It is late now, isn't it? Yeah, but
thank you so much. This has been really nice. Thank you. And I've spoken some of these things I've spoken about in the past, but not everything. So you've definitely got some extra things out. Well done.
No, absolutely. It's always good. I always say to people, look at this as even like 20, 50, 100 years down the line, the great grandchildren, they get to listen to this, and it will give them an insight into who Shona was and her experience and life. And that's just an absolutely amazing thing. So all these digital assets of the story and the life, how you capture it, it's quite an amazing asset to have, I think. And you've told your story in such an amazing way. So I really appreciate that. So we'll let you go to bed, and then we'll catch up soon.
All right, then. Speak to you soon.
Thanks, Shona. Bye.